Here's a great question that doesn't involve any kind of speed, distance, travel, nothing. This is a guy watching television. So watch. Jonah is watching television at a volume scale of 50. So if you think about this in terms of his time and his volume, because that just, you can get that information right from the first sentence. He's watching television at a volume scale of 50. Okay, so at time 0, as soon as he turns on his TV set or a surround sound system, it goes to a setting of exactly 50. And it says after 5 minutes, so from 0 to 5 minutes, he is listening to it at 50 setting. Then he decreases the volume by 5. So if you think about it, right, he decreases this now at this point down to 45. And we're going to put that in another color. And what's interesting is we're going to put a circle around this, and you're going to see why I put a circle around that in a few minutes. Okay, 10 minutes later, so now we're at 5 minutes, 10 minutes later would be at the 15-minute mark, right? He increases the volume now, so to 70. So for this particular part, from here to 15 minutes again, he's listening to it at 45. Okay, right at this point, instantaneously, he changes this from 45 all the way to 70. Beautiful. And then after another 10 minutes, he decides to mute the TV. So from 15 to 25 minutes right here, boom, he decides, oh, I'm going to listen to it at really, 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 really loud, but at the 25-minute mark, which we're going to circle again, and there's a reason why I'm circling them, you're going to have a change right here from 70 down to 0. Okay, so that becomes really important to show on the graph. So let's go to our graph here, and I want to show you something really kind of cool. What I've got here is a nice little graph right over here. We're going to put time on this side. Time in terms of minutes. Why? Well, because he's deciding how long he wants to listen to this at what volume. So it is a dependent variable. The independent variable is him reacting to the volume. So his volume is going to be here. And the volume, you can't say it's in decibels or anything like that. It's at the whatever the TV setting is. So I'm just going to put down TV setting or amplifier setting or surround sound setting, whatever you want to put in here. Now, notice that we started in terms of a time. We started at 0 and we went to a time of 25. Okay, so let's go, I don't know, let's go by 5s on this. So there's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and so on. Not the best setting in the world because we could have went out here a little bit further, but for our needs, that's good enough for now. Look at the volume settings. We're going from 0 right here all the way to the top of 70. So I'm going to go by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40. There's 50 where he started at, okay? 60, there's 60, and then there's 70 where he just cranks it right up to 70. Okay, so let's start putting some points down. So at time 0, he is at time 0. So there's 0 time right here because there's our 0, 0 mark. He's already switches the surround sound on. It starts at 50. He listens to this for a time of 5 minutes. So from here to here, he listens to it for 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, from here to here. There it is. From here to here, he's listening for 5 minutes at 50. So right from here to this point. But at this point right here, we have an instantaneous change. We have an instantaneous change down to 45. So he lowers this to 45 and he listens to that. Remember, after 5 minutes, he lowers the volume by 5 and he listens to this for at least 10 minutes. So, okay, so he lowers this to 5, which means he's at 45, which is right here. And I'm going to start this with a dot and I'm going to continue this for 10 minutes. So there's the 5-minute mark, there's the 10-minute mark, there's the 15-minute mark. So up to this point right here, he's going to continue listening to it at a lower level. See how those are all flat lines. During that 5 minutes or during that 15 minutes, he's not changing the volume. The volume change is an instantaneous one. Then at this, the 15-minute mark, he cranks it all the way up to 70, up to here. and he listens to the volume of 70 for another 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is here. There's 5 more minutes. There's 10 more minutes. Okay? And right at the 10-minute mark, right at here, he turns around and he mutes it. And if you think about this, we said that that should be at the 25-minute mark. And look at this. There's 20. There's 25 minutes. And he continues to have it on mute for the rest of the time. So we have an instantaneous change all the way down to here. Boom. You see how this works? Now, why did I put circles here? The reason why is because dot indicates the volume that he's listening at. You can't be at 2 places at once. You can't be at 50 decibels or whatever the TV setting is, and at 45 at the exact same time. It's one or the other. So we're going to say that he stops listening to it at 50 and picks up at 45 right at the same time. It's like an instantaneous change. So that's why here, if you look, he stops listening it to 45 and he's now at 70. And then this continues on for 10 minutes. He stops at 70 and all of a sudden, he's at 0, and it continues on forever. See how this works? Kind of an interesting way of looking at this particular situation. So you see instantaneous changes. We put circles because we can't be in the 2 places at once. We put the dot indicating that's where we're picking up from. Really interesting question. Lots of flat lines, lots of instantaneous changes, and it's kind of cool.